Chapter 5, The Night He Almost Told Me the Truth. The house feels different now. Ever since Ethan told me the truth, or at least part of it, the walls seem to hum with a tension I can't ignore. He's in the next room. I can hear the faint rustle of him moving, the distant clink of glass as he pours himself a drink. He's been avoiding me ever since I confronted him. Ever since I stormed out to Mira's, demanding answers, and came back with more questions instead. I should let it go. I should walk upstairs, shut my door, and pretend like I didn't just learn my best friend was behind the worst night of my life. But I can't, because every time I close my eyes, I hear Ethan's voice. I never wanted to leave. I had no choice. Mira told me to go. I push off the couch, my pulse unsteady as I move toward the dimly lit kitchen. Ethan is leaning against the counter, shirt sleeves rolled up, his fingers wrapped around a glass of whiskey. He doesn't look up. I hesitate at the doorway, my heart hammering against my ribs. Ethan. His shoulders stiffen, but he doesn't turn around. Instead, he takes a slow sip of his drink, like he didn't just shake the foundation of my entire world. You should go to bed, Lena. His voice is hoarse, laced with something dangerous and unspoken. I step closer. I can't. A muscle ticks in his jaw. That's not my problem. It's infuriating, the way he does this. Pushes me away when I know damn well he wants to pull me closer. I fold my arms, refusing to let him shut me out. Tell me everything, Ethan. For a second, I think he's going to ignore me. That he'll just stand there, staring into his glass like it holds the answers to whatever hell we've both been thrown into. But then he exhales sharply, setting the glass down with more force than necessary. And when he turns to face me, I see it. The war in his eyes. He runs a hand through his hair, his expression unreadable. You really want the truth? I nod, my throat dry. Ethan studies me for a long moment before he finally speaks. The night before I left, he starts, his voice tight. Your father called me. I blink. My father? Ethan looks away like the memory alone is too much. He told me he knew about us. Something sharp grips my chest. Us. Back then, we weren't anything official, just stolen moments, whispers in the dark, the kind of feelings we were too young to name. But it didn't matter, because my father saw it and he didn't approve. I swallow hard. What did he say? Ethan exhales, rubbing the back of his neck. He told me to leave. The words land like a blow. I shake my head. No, it doesn't make sense. My father never... Ethan's dark eyes snap to mine. He threatened me, Lena. The floor tilts beneath me. Threatened? My father was strict, harsh even, but he was still my father. He wouldn't, would he? I gripped the edge of the counter. You're saying my dad forced you to leave? Ethan lets out a bitter laugh. Not directly. He didn't have to. I stare at him, waiting for him to explain, but he hesitates, like there's still more he's not telling me. I take a slow step forward. Ethan, his jaw tightens. Tell me the rest. For a moment, he doesn't move, doesn't breathe, and then... His phone buzzes. He glances at the screen. His face goes pale. My stomach clenches. Who is it? He doesn't answer. Instead, he silences the call, turning away, just like he always does when I get too close. And that's when I realize this isn't over. There's more to the story, more to the lie that tore us apart, and Ethan Carter is still keeping secrets. Later that night, I can't sleep. The truth, or the half-truth Ethan gave me, won't stop gnawing at me. So when I hear movement downstairs, I get up. The house is dark except for the faint glow coming from the study. I find him there, sitting on the couch, elbows on his knees, hands buried in his hair, and for the first time since he came back, he looks like a man unraveling. Ethan, I whisper. He lifts his head, and the raw pain in his gaze nearly brings me to my knees. I swallow the lump in my throat. Tell me the rest. Silence. Then, I can't. I step closer. Why not? His fingers tighten. Because if I do, you'll hate me. The words slice through me like a blade. I drop onto the couch beside him, so close I can feel his warmth. Ethan, nothing you say could make me hate you. He turns to me, his expression unreadable, like he wants to believe me, like he knows he shouldn't. And then he lifts a hand, slowly, tentatively, like he's afraid to touch me. But he does. His fingers brush against mine, hesitant at first, then firmer, like he's remembering how it used to feel. I forget how to breathe, because this is what we lost. This is what was taken from us. And in that moment, I don't care about the secrets, the lies, the unanswered questions. I just want to hold on to him. I squeeze his hand. Ethan, please. He inhales sharply, and for a second I think he's going to tell me, but instead he pulls away, and the moment shatters. I watch as he stands, his expression hardening again, rebuilding the walls I almost broke through. Go to bed, Lena, he says quietly. I open my mouth, but I know it's useless. He won't tell me tonight, so I nod, swallow my heartbreak, and walk away. But as I close the door to my room, one thing is certain: I won't stop until I know the truth. Because whatever Ethan is hiding, it's the key to everything. Chapter 6: The Secret That Destroyed Us. I shouldn't be here. Mira's house is dark, the night settling heavily around me, but my fingers are already wrapped around the spare key under the flower pot. I don't know why I came. That's a lie. I know exactly why. Because Mira is lying. Because Ethan is still hiding something. And because if I want answers, I have to find them myself. The lock clicks open, and I slip inside, my heart pounding. Everything is quiet, too quiet. I don't have much time. I start in the study, rifling through her desk drawers, scanning papers, flipping through folders. There's nothing. Nothing. Until I find the box. It's tucked away at the bottom of a cabinet, small, wooden, and locked. But when I shake it, I hear something inside. I hesitate. Then I grab a letter opener from the desk and pry it open. And that's when I see it. The letter. It's old, the edges yellowed, the ink slightly smudged, but the name at the top is unmistakable. Lena Whitmore. It's addressed to me. But I've never seen it before in my life. My hands tremble as I unfold the paper, my breath catching on the first line. Lena, if you ever read this, it means I failed. The world tilts beneath me, because I know this handwriting. I know these words. I know who wrote this. Ethan. My pulse pounds as I scan the letter, my eyes flying over each word. I never wanted to leave. But I didn't have a choice. Your father, he made sure of that. He wasn't the only one. There's something you don't know, Lena, something that could ruin you. They told me if I stayed, your family would be destroyed. I thought leaving would protect you. I was wrong. The paper shakes in my hands. The words blur. My father, Mira. They were both involved. But who else? Who pulled the strings? What were they hiding from me? I feel sick. I don't know what's worse, the lies or the fact that Ethan tried to tell me and never got the chance. And then it hits me. Mira took this letter. She kept it from me. She made sure I never knew the truth. I shoved the letter into my pocket and turned to leave, only to freeze when I hear the front door open. Footsteps. Someone's here. My heart lurches. I slip out the back door just as the light flickers on in the hall. I don't look back. I just run. Ethan is waiting for me when I go. He's standing in the dimly lit living room, his arms crossed, his jaw tight. Where were you? His voice is calm, but I can hear the edge beneath it. I don't answer. I can't. Instead, I walk straight to him, pull the letter from my pocket, and shove it into his hands. He stiffens. Then he sees it. The color drains from his face. His fingers tighten around the paper, knuckles white. Where did you get this? His voice is low. I swallow hard. Mira had it. His eyes snap to mine, and in them, I see it. The truth, the confirmation of everything I feared. You wrote this, I whisper. You tried to tell me, and she... My voice cracks. She stole it. She made sure I never saw it. Ethan doesn't deny it. He just closes his eyes, his breathing heavy, and that's when I break. You let me believe you abandoned me. My voice is shaking now, rising with every word. You let me hate you. You let me grieve you, and all this time you were trying to protect me? His hands drop to his sides, his body rigid. Lena. No. The dam finally bursts. You don't get to do this. You don't get to stand there and act like any of this is okay. He flinches. And for the first time since he came back, I see him. His voice is rough when he finally speaks. I thought I was doing the right thing. The right thing? A bitter laugh escapes me. Ethan, you let me spend years thinking I wasn't enough, that I wasn't worth staying for. My throat tightens. And all this time you knew the truth. A muscle ticks in his jaw. It wasn't just your father, Lena. The words send a cold shiver down my spine. I swallow hard. What do you mean? He looks away, his hands curling into fists. Then finally, he tells me. It wasn't just your father, Ethan says again, his voice quieter this time. I hold my breath. His eyes flicker with something dark. Someone else was pulling the strings. Someone bigger than your father. Bigger than Mira. A chill spreads through my chest. Who? His jaw tightens. And then he says it. My father. The words slam into me like a wrecking ball. My vision blurs. No, that can't be right. Ethan's father, he was dead. He had been dead for years. You're lying, I whisper. Ethan laughs, but there's no humor in it, just something sharp and broken. You think I'd lie about this? His voice is hoarse. Lena, my father was already in deep with the same people your dad got tangled up with, and when things went south, he knew someone had to take the fall. The air whooshes from my lungs, and suddenly the pieces start clicking into place. The fraud allegations, my family's financial struggles, the whispers of something bigger. Ethan's father had been involved, and he set mine up to take the blame. Tears sting my eyes. Why didn't you tell me? Because it wouldn't have changed anything, Ethan says quietly. And because if I stayed, they would have come after you too. Everything inside me fractures. Because this is why he left. Not because he didn't love me, not because he didn't care, but because his father's sins had destroyed both of our lives. And now we were standing in the wreckage. Chapter 7, Betrayal, Love, and a Choice to Make. The morning after Ethan's confession, I wake up with a headache. My body aches from the weight of everything I've learned, but it's my heart that hurts the most. The walls of my bedroom seem to close in on me. My mind is a whirlwind of questions. How did we get here? Why didn't I know about any of this? Why didn't Ethan tell me sooner? I swing my legs off the bed, my feet landing on the cold wood floor. I need answers. But more than that, I need to know where to go from here. I slip into the bathroom, staring at myself in the mirror. The reflection is still me, but somehow I'm different. Everything's different. My phone buzzes on the counter, and I see Ethan's name flash across the screen. I hesitate. My finger hovers over the screen, debating whether to answer. After everything we've been through, I'm still terrified. Terrified of what he'll say, terrified of what he's hiding, but even more, I'm terrified of what it will mean if I keep running. With a sigh, I answer, Ethan, Lena. His voice is low, rough, like he's been up all night too. Can we talk? I close my eyes. Do I want to talk? Do I want to face the aftermath of everything we've just learned? Yes. I exhale, the word heavy in my chest, but not over the phone. I'll be at your place in 30 minutes, he says. There's a pause. I need to see you. A small knot tightens in my stomach. He's coming here. He wants to fix things. But can we fix this? After all the lies, the betrayal, the years apart, I don't know. When Ethan arrives, the silence between us is suffocating. I meet him at the door, and he looks at me with such aching vulnerability that it makes my breath catch in my throat. His hair is disheveled, his eyes tired but desperate. He looks like a man who has been carrying a weight far too heavy for one person, but now he's ready to share it with me. But I don't know if I can carry it. He steps inside without waiting for an invitation, his gaze flicking nervously to the floor before finally meeting my eyes. There's no arrogance in his demeanor anymore. No walls, just raw honesty. I'm sorry, Lena. His voice breaks, but it's not from guilt. It's from something deeper, something that's been buried for too long. I take a step back, unable to help myself. The distance between us feels like a chasm I don't know how to cross. You don't need to apologize, I say, my voice shaky. You already told me the truth. Not all of it, he mutters, running a hand through his hair. He's pacing now, unable to stand still. There's more, so much more, but I don't know where to begin. Start with why you left. My voice is tight with emotion. Why didn't you come back? Why didn't you tell me any of this? Ethan stops in his tracks, his eyes darkening with pain. I thought I was protecting you, he says, his voice low. I didn't think you could handle it, Lena. You weren't supposed to know about my father's involvement in all of this. You weren't supposed to know the things I saw, the things I had to do to get away. I shake my head. I don't care what you had to do. You should have told me. We could have faced it together. His gaze flickers to mine, and I see the war in his eyes. I know, but I was a coward, Lena. I couldn't risk you being dragged into my mess. I couldn't stand the thought of you getting hurt. So, you left me instead? I feel my throat close up as I take a step forward. You let me think you didn't love me, that you didn't care, and now I find out it was all a lie? His face crumbles. It wasn't a lie. I never stopped loving you, Lena. I swear to you. His words hang in the air between us, heavy and suffocating. I want to believe him. I do, but every part of me is screaming. How can I trust you now? Then, why didn't you come back for me? I ask quietly. Why didn't you fight for us? His shoulders slump as if the weight of my question is too much for him to bear. I was broken, Lena. I thought I was doing the right thing by staying away. I thought if I stayed gone, I could save you from the hell my family had already dragged me through. Tears blur my vision. And you think I'd be better off without you? You think I'd be better off with no answers? No closure? Ethan's hand reaches out as if he's going to touch me, but he hesitates, his fingers hovering in the air. I didn't want you to hate me, but I see now that I was wrong. The words hang between us, but they're not enough. Not for me. Not for what we had. I sit down on the couch, my mind racing, my heart torn. There's a part of me that wants to scream at him, demand more answers, ask him, how could he do this to me? But there's another part, the part that still loves him despite everything, that just wants to hold him. I don't know if I can do this anymore, Ethan. My voice cracks as I say the words. I don't know if I can keep going back and forth between what's real and what's a lie. I don't know if I can trust you. He drops to his knees in front of me, his eyes pleading. Lena, please. I know I've hurt you. I know I've broken you. But I'm asking you to choose me again. I need you. I love you, and I can't. He cuts himself off, unable to continue. The words are so raw, so real, they pierce my heart, and for a moment I'm caught in the tension of wanting to forgive him and wanting to protect myself. But then the truth hits me. I already made my choice. I'm not asking for forgiveness, Lena, he says softly, his voice trembling. I'm asking for a chance, one chance to make it right. Please. I look into his eyes, searching for the boy I once knew, the boy who promised he'd never leave me, the boy who, despite all the pain, was still here, still fighting. And in that moment, I realized something. I can't walk away, not from him, not from the love we shared. I take a deep breath, the decision weighing on me. I love you, Ethan. I never stopped loving you. Tears fill my eyes as I reach out to touch his face. But I need you to prove it. I need you to show me that we can have a future together, that everything that happened in the past won't tear us apart again. Ethan nods, his hands trembling as he takes my face in his hands. I will. I swear to you, I will do whatever it takes. He pulls me into his arms, and for the first time in years, I allow myself to lean into him, to feel the warmth of his embrace. But the question still lingers, unanswered. Can we truly move past the betrayal? Can we rebuild what was broken, or will the scars of the past continue to haunt us? Chapter 8. I chose you then and now. The morning after the night we decided to face the truth together is heavy. A quiet stillness settles in the house, a weight I can't shake, even though I know it's only a matter of time before everything changes. Ethan is still asleep beside me, his breath steady and calm. He's more at peace now than I've ever seen him, as if the past few days of laying bare his soul have lifted a burden from his chest. But I can feel the tension in the air. We still have to figure this out. I pull the covers around me and slip out of bed, moving quietly toward the kitchen. I need space to think, time to breathe before the conversation we have to have. It's not over yet. The truth has come to light, but the real test is whether we can rebuild what's been broken, if it's even possible. As the coffee brews, I find myself staring out the window. The world is still the same. The trees sway in the wind, the birds chirp, and everything feels so ordinary. But my world has been anything but ordinary these past few weeks. It's been a whirlwind of betrayal, love, pain, and revelations that have changed everything I thought I knew about myself, my family, and Ethan. I can't go back. The life I knew before, the life where Ethan was just a boy who promised to marry me, is gone. And I have to decide if I can build something new with the man he is now, or if the wounds are too deep to heal. Ethan walks into the kitchen, his eyes bleary but warm as he approaches me. He doesn't say anything at first, just takes the coffee cup I offer him, his fingers brushing mine. A silent apology. A silent promise. You're awake early, he murmurs, his voice hoarse from sleep. I needed to think, I admit, my gaze on the coffee brewing. I didn't sleep much. He doesn't push me. Instead, he leans against the counter, watching me. I understand. You don't have to decide anything today, Lena. I just want you to know I'm here, for whatever you need. The sincerity in his voice pulls at something deep inside me. I don't know what I need, I say quietly. I don't know if I can forgive you. Ethan nods, his expression tightening with guilt. I understand that too. I know it's not that simple. But I'm not going anywhere. I'll do whatever it takes. Lena, I'll show you that I'm here to stay. I meet his eyes. I want to believe him so badly, but it's so much harder than that. I have to be honest with myself. I've been carrying around years of hurt, anger, and confusion, and I need time to unravel it, to see if what we have is strong enough to withstand the weight of the truth. But the truth is, despite all the pain, despite the betrayal, I still love him. I can't deny that. Not to him, not to myself. Later that day, we sit in the living room. The sun is low in the sky, casting long shadows across the floor, but there's still light in the room. It feels like the calm before the storm, like we're both waiting for something to happen. But I know the storm has already passed. We've faced the worst of it. Now it's about rebuilding. Ethan sits across from me, his posture tense, his hands clasped together. He's waiting for me to speak, for me to tell him what I need. I don't want to just go back to how things were, I say, my voice steady, though my heart is racing. I can't pretend that this is all just fine. I can't just forgive you and act like the past doesn't matter. Ethan's eyes soften, but he doesn't interrupt. He's listening. But I also can't ignore the fact that we've always been something special, Ethan. I meet his gaze, searching for the truth in his eyes. Even when you left, even when you shut me out, I still felt it, and I know you felt it too. I did. His voice cracks, his hand reaching out as if he wants to touch me but doesn't know how to. I always felt it. I never stopped loving you. I swallow hard, the weight of his words crashing over me. The sincerity, the desperation in his voice, it's everything I wanted to hear when I was younger, when I was sure he was the one. But love isn't enough to just fix everything, I continue, my voice trembling. We've been through too much. There's so much we need to work through. We need to figure out if we can trust each other again. If you can trust me. Ethan's eyes darken with pain. I've never stopped trusting you, Lena. I was just afraid of what might happen if I told you everything, afraid of losing you. But now I realize I've already lost so much, and I don't want to lose you too. I close my eyes, the ache in my chest growing with each word he speaks. But I've already lost you, Ethan. You were gone for so long, and I had to live with that, live with thinking you never cared enough to come back. Ethan's jaw tightens, and I can see the fight in him. I did care, I just didn't know how to make it right, but I do now. I swear, Lena, I'll spend the rest of my life proving it to you. I want to believe him. I want to trust that the boy I once knew, the boy who promised me forever, has finally come back. But there's so much pain, so much fear in my heart that I can't be sure. Is it enough? Can I really let go of everything that's happened? That night, after hours of talking, I find myself standing in the living room, staring at the door. I know what I need to do. I know that the choice has always been mine. Ethan has opened himself to me in ways I never expected, and I've seen the truth behind the pain. I know now that he never wanted to hurt me. He thought he was protecting me, but in the end, he was protecting himself from the fear of losing me forever. And now he's back, ready to fight for what we had, and for what we could have. I take a deep breath, my fingers trembling as I reach for the door. Ethan is standing outside, waiting for me. His face is pale, his lips parted in anticipation. He's afraid to push, afraid that this might be the moment I walk away. But when I open the door, I look at him, and I know I'm not walking away. I step forward, my heart racing in my chest as I reach for him. He doesn't move at first, unsure of what I'm doing, but when I step into his arms, he holds me like he's been waiting for this moment for years, and maybe he has. I chose you, Ethan, I whisper against his chest, then and now. He exhales as if the weight of the world has been lifted from his shoulders. Lena, I will never let you go again. I swear to you, I'll never hurt you the way I did before. We stand there for a long moment, the world around us fading away, leaving only the two of us in the silence of our shared love. We can't change the past. But we can choose what to do with the future. And for the first time in a long time, I feel like we're heading in the right direction. Weeks pass. The wounds aren't fully healed, but they're no longer as sharp. We work through the tough moments, the doubts, the fears. We learn to trust each other again. Slowly, steadily. We don't have all the answers. The past still lingers, like a shadow we can't escape, but it no longer controls us. We're stronger now. And one morning, as I stand in the kitchen, Ethan walks in with a small box in his hand. He's smiling, his eyes shining with excitement. "What's this?" I ask, curious. He steps toward me, kneeling in front of me. Lena Whitmore, he says, his voice thick with emotion. I'm not perfect, but I'm ready to make this right. Will you marry me? Again? I feel my heart skip a beat. It's the question I've been waiting for. I already chose you, I say softly, my smile growing as I look at him. Yes. 1,000 times, yes. And just like that, I know we're going to be okay. The end. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey of love, loss, and redemption. Lena and Ethan's story was one of heartache, healing, and above all, the power of second chances. I hope their journey touched you as deeply as it touched me to write it. As we close this chapter, remember that love isn't always easy. It's messy, complicated, and sometimes painful. But it's also worth every moment of effort, every step toward forgiveness, and every leap of faith. If you've enjoyed this story, there's more to come. Don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on future tales of love, mystery, and everything in between. Your support means the world to me, and I can't wait to share more adventures with you. Until next time, keep loving, keep believing, and always choose to fight for the ones who matter most. Subscribe for more.